Coming up on AgweekTV, a Minnesota farmer is using his camera to tell the story of agriculture.
A Minnesota supplier adapts to a changing livestock economy.
And forecasters fear last year's drought conditions could continue into 2018. Welcome to AgweekTV. I'm Rose Dunn. Forecasters are saying the drought that plagued many farmers across the region last year could continue into 2018. The lack of snow this winter is contributing to the dry conditions. 90% of North Dakota is considered to be abnormally dry or in moderate drought, with South Dakota very similar. Those conditions will likely continue into spring. That's especially troubling since many areas are going into spring with a soil moisture deficit.
This year and the last year, we had that comfort from the previous wet season. It is more likely that this drought is going to continue into next year. Even if we have the normal amount of precipitation in winter, the game changer is after the soil thaws and the spring precipitation comes and it is going to soak into the soil is the best recipe rather than expecting hundreds of inches of snow.
There is some hope. The Climate Prediction Center believes La Nina conditions could bring colder and wetter weather to the region, but so far it's not strong enough to earn the official La Nina designation. The vitally important export picture is cloudy over uncertainty about the North American Free Trade Agreement. President Trump says he'd like to pull out of NAFTA, but John Barch, a senior trader and general manager at Kelly Bean Company in Maple Grove, Minnesota, says NAFTA is important for bean growers. He says North Dakota, Minnesota, and Manitoba are responsible for about 60% of North America's dry edible bean production.
You look at the regions and the crops that we grow up here, everything from corn, soybeans, wheat, malting barley, all are really big benefactors from NAFTA. So I think there's a lot of industry push to do no harm. There's certainly some things that can be fixed in NAFTA, but do no harm and preserve this good markets, good exports that we have going to Mexico.
Barch says some things should be fixed in NAFTA, as it hasn't always helped every U.S. ag segment. He says dairy, beef, and sugar have had complaints. The short-term outlook for dairy prices is weak, according to one expert, especially with the current questions about the future of trade. Mexico and Canada are big buyers of U.S. dairy, which increases the importance of the ongoing NAFTA negotiations. Jim Sulphur is an educator with the University of Minnesota Extension. He talked about factors driving milk prices and profits at the North Dakota Dairy Convention. Jenny Schlecht has more.
The short-term outlook for profitability in the dairy industry isn't great, but attendees of the North Dakota Dairy Convention learned there are ways to make a profit.
Short-term, what you've got to do is just really focus on costs. So make sure you visit with your nutritionist and other people. What really happens is we add a lot of products that increase milk production when times are really good because there's an extra value for each pound of milk. But then as prices go down, we tend not to take things out.
Sulphur says there's no quick fix. He thinks milk prices will range from $17 to $19 for the next 5 to 7 years, but he says there are still opportunities for profit.
Think about all those things that may not add to your cost, but may add to your bottom line and your profit, and really focus on them. Think of other things you're good at, whether it's a custom harvesting business. You could partner with your neighbor on buying some of your equipment, or you could maybe custom raise some heifers, or you can expand in some beef operations. Think about your strengths on your farm, and are you capitalizing on your strengths?
The new North Dakota Livestock Alliance is doing what it can to promote dairy and livestock in the state.
We need to get the word out, still work with events where consumers may be, so that we can talk to them about the livestock industry in North Dakota, the value that it has to our state, assure them of the quality of the food and livestock that is produced in our state.
In Bismarck, this is Jenny Schlecht for Ag Week.
Even if you're not in the cattle business, you may have noticed the "We Do Cows" billboards on Interstate 94 as you travel to and from the Twin Cities. The ads are for Leadstone Incorporated, a transformative business in the region's animal health industry. Mikkel Pates explains how the Melrose, Minnesota business grew from an idea by veterinarian brothers David and Dan Tomsche.
As the dairy and beef industries have changed, the We Do Cows folks have changed too.
It began as an animal health company and a route truck supply company to dairy farms in the local area.
In the early 90s, David Tomsche and his brother Dan, third-generation veterinarians, thought they could expand their business from a truck to something more.
We were supplying our 5 vet clinics at the time with inventory, so we needed a place to orchestrate the inventory in a more business-like fashion. So then we built a building here in '95. We had no intention of opening it up to the public, but I had spent a little bit more money than I was comfortable with and decided I was going to open up a store.
Pharmacy, this is Emily.
Today, Leadstone has more than 100 employees around the region, and the Tomshies have changed the region's animal health supply business model. They fill prescriptions from 3,000 veterinarians nationwide, and they're a leading dealer of high-tech dairy equipment, including robots. In addition, they sell dairy chemicals and supplies and run a pharmacy and retail store and mail-order business. And now they're into pet supplies.
It's quite a luxury to be able to do business with family and friends through the pain and through the joy of it. I mean, I kind of think over the years that we've been logistically have helped each other be better, bounce ideas off each other. You know, David this is mainly his brainchild though, and he's taken it to the next level. And so we've been really fortunate, and it's been a fun journey.
As the livestock industry has changed, so has Leadstone.
To our customer, we are viewed as innovative. To our competitors, we are viewed as disruptive.
For Ag Week, this is Mikkel Pates in Melrose, Minnesota.
Mikkel will have much more on this business in the next Ag Week magazine. Ahead on AgweekTV, we'll tell you about a new use for soybeans that could really be on a roll.
Dream of building a new home, garage, shop, barn, or commercial space? What if you could create your ideal building for less than you ever imagined? Want to build a cabin in the woods, a workshop, storage space? Then call your Hanson personal building designer now, and we'll include professionally engineered, sealed plans to your new building absolutely free. Save up to thousands of dollars. Build your ideal dream for less than you ever imagined. Call now.
I'm 120, I'm 30, I'm 55, once around the block, 212 right here, now have them times up. So
if you're thinking about selling a piece of land, or you're looking to sell some farm equipment, or if you're thinking about a retirement or involved in an estate, give us a call. We'll sit down and tell you all about the Steffes way. We think it's a good way. That's how we approach it. If any of those are in your plans, give us a call or go to steffesgroup.com. Learn all about us. Hope to hear from you.
Make every minute of the growing season count. Schedule your equipment for a genuine Case IH parts and service uptime inspection at Titan Machinery. Our professional service technicians have the training and experience to pinpoint and repair problems before they have a chance to shut you down during the season. Avoid the high cost of in-season downtime. Give yourself the peace of mind knowing your equipment is ready to work. Schedule your equipment today by going to uptime18.com or calling your local Titan Machinery dealer. That's Titan Machinery, providing you with genuine Case IH parts and service.
Intelligent farming means more crop from every acre. That starts with smart machines and precision application. Introducing the new Rogator C-Series from Challenger, featuring a newer, smarter, more precise way to apply fertilizers and nutrients, more accurately and more efficiently than ever before, resulting in less overlap and less crop damage, all to make you more productive and more profitable. To find out more, contact Butler Machinery today.
At Superior Grain Equipment, we're committed to quality and service, offering you the best in grain storage and dryers for any size operation. Our experts will work with you to determine the most efficient and economical storage solution for your needs. We help protect your bottom line and your future with the industry's best bins and warranties. Make the superior choice for protection today and tomorrow with Superior Grain Equipment.
From candles to pet shampoo, fuel for your car, crayons, and even AstroTurf, there are more than 800 products made from soybeans that area farmers grow. Now you can add car tires to that list. Kevin Wallivan has more.
At the Fergus Falls Goodyear store, Harold Stanislawski thought if he was going to promote the new soybean-infused tires, he better get a set.
I like the traction a lot. I was up in snow and ice up in Canada there. They hold the road really, really well, and they're a very pliable tire.
Soybean grower Jonathan Pekarski of Fergus remembers when his dad was one of the first to grow soybeans here back in the 50s. not much market for the new crop. Now, thanks to soybean checkoff dollars, money is going into research that can lead to things like this: a new market for the bean.
I think it improves the tire, improves the characteristics of the tire, makes it a safer tire. And if we happen to sell a few more beans because of it, that's a good day for everybody.
Soybean farmers recently have had good luck finding markets for their soybeans in the food and livestock arena, but not oil so much, until now.
It's good for business. It's good for our sustainability. They were able to take basically all the petroleum out of the tread face material and replace it with soy.
The formulation of a soybean is very magical indeed. It has a lot of the characteristics that make it appropriate for a lot of uses.
With farmers growing so much of the crop recently, there's an even more urgency to find even more outlets and markets for the soybean. Now it's helping you move on down the road.
The new soybean tires are called Assurance Weather Ready. Right now they run around $20 more per tire, but there are rebates on now for the tire's debut. Cargill is one of the world's most influential ag companies. The Minnesota-based company provides food, ag, financial, and industrial products around the world. Retired CEO Greg Page is a North Dakota native and was back in the region recently. Jonathan Knutson spoke with him about the need to make consumers more aware of how the food system operates.
Cargill is one of the world's most important ag companies. The insights of Greg Page, its retired CEO and chairman, are important too.
I think the key to trust and building trust is more transparency, and there's a certain amount of desire for privacy, and I understand that, but I think we have to be more transparent.
Page retired in 2015, but he spent nearly 40 years with Cargill, and he still has close ties to ag. He knows the challenges that farmers face, including critics who don't like GMOs and chemicals, and he urges Aggies to keep trying to connect with the public.
If our voice completely leaves the field, then we've ceded to the people that would mislead and misportray and market food through fear versus market food through trust. I think being frustrated is not an acceptable excuse to quit doing this if you think of the consequences.
Page says people in agribusiness need to speak up and speak out, even when they'd rather not.
Public opinion becomes public policy, and if you take the worst of the criticisms of agriculture and turn it into laws and to regulations, our kids will have a future that we won't be proud of.
Finding constructive solutions can be difficult, but as Greg Page says, Aggies need to make the effort. For Ag Week, I'm Jonathan Knutson.
When will the cold end? Your agri-weather forecast is next. And a Minnesota man is using YouTube to teach the world about farming.
Luckin Trucks and Parts sells quality used parts for all makes and models. With over 50 acres of trucks and parts and new inventory arriving daily. Family owned and operated since 1966, Luckin's specializes in the sale of quality used medium to heavy duty truck parts as well as pre-owned trucks, trailers, and construction equipment. If it's on a truck, we got it. Call us today and let us get you your part.
Dream of building a new home, garage, shop, barn, or commercial space? What if you could create your ideal building for less than you ever imagined? Want to build a cabin in the woods, a workshop, storage space? Then call your Hanson personal building designer now, and we'll include professionally engineered, sealed plans to your new building absolutely free. Save up to thousands of dollars. Build your ideal dream for less than you ever imagined. Call now.
I'm 120, 130, 130, 55, once around the block, 212, 5 right here, now have them times up. So
if you're thinking about selling a piece of land, or you're looking to sell some farm equipment, or if you're thinking about a retirement or involved in an estate, give us a call. We'll sit down and tell you all about the Steffes way. We think it's a good way. That's how we approach it. If any of those are in your plans, give us a call or go to steffesgroup.com. Learn all about us. Hope to hear from you.
TrueFlex Land Rollers. TrueFlex Land Rollers are designed with today's farmer in mind. With a 42-inch roller diameter, features include a heavy-duty hinge and wing lock, true roller overlap, 3-inch replaceable roller shafts, hydraulic wing steer, and more. As manufacturers, we can custom build to any size. For questions, call us toll-free or check us out online. TrueFlex Land Rollers, a division of Sprayflex.
For over 40 years, Northside Implement has been your Gallon Vermeer dealer in Webster, South Dakota and Lidgerwood, North Dakota, with new equipment including feeding, grain handling, haying, and skid steer, as well as a nice selection of used equipment including sprayers, spreaders, seeding, as well as tractors and loaders. Northside Implement stands behind the equipment they sell with quality service guaranteed. See us for all your repairs and parts from tillage to skid steer loaders to combines and everything in between. Contact Dave, Liddell, Mike, or Chris today at Northside Implement or visit our website for our complete equipment listings.
Gets to be about the middle of February, and you know what? The winter gets to be about as old and tired as we are of it. But it's really no sign that it's going to be going away or letting up anytime soon. And I mean that in the general pattern of things as well. Forecast-wise, we're looking not quite as cold over the next couple of weeks. Snow, we've finally gotten most of the northern plains ground covered up by snowfall. That's been fairly lacking, especially in South Dakota. And the southern part of the country continues to be showing developing signs of drought. Let's start there. Drought Monitor Index, notice all the red across the south, the red and orange. In fact, there's a lot of dry territory in the southeast. This is the wet season down south, so some of this should get better with this pattern. But from the southern plains and especially across Oklahoma and the Texas Panhandle into eastern parts of New Mexico, a lot of winter wheat down in this area, and it is parched in the southern plains. Northern part of the country, there are some dry patches, some of this drought conditions left over from last year. Of course, we haven't had a lot of winter snowfall in this area in particular, but it's okay because it's wintertime. The ground is so frozen, moisture doesn't soak in this time of year anyway. What we need is some timely rains once we get to spring. In the meantime, we still have cold weather lingering on. High pressure ridge basically along or just off the west coast ensures California will stay dry. The weather in the northern plains and upper Midwest will go back and forth between very cold and not quite so cold. And so some of the not quite so cold will help out a bit. As we approach about a week from now, this upcoming weekend, I look for a little bit of a thaw to develop through the northern plains, but that will likely be temporary, as the week after Valentine's Day week, the 18th through 24th, I'm afraid the cold weather will sink back in, though I don't look for it to be Arctic related or as cold as it has been. Precipitation-wise, mostly these are just going to be little systems. This little tract down here in the eastern U.S. it promises some good moisture, but these little systems coming out of the Rockies into the northern plains, not likely to drop a lot of significant moisture, but in some areas, hit and miss, granted, there will be places where the ground cover does get a little bit more impressive, which will help out a little bit. It's the northeast that looks like it's poised to get a few snowfalls. As we go into the second week, precipitation-wise, it does look like not a lot of rain or snow anywhere except a few swaths over the northeast, which may get fairly wet. Down in South America, some pretty beneficial showers over Brazil, helping things out there. Australia, a few showers in the west, but generally a lot of dry weather in Australia. So overall, not quite as cold, a little bit more snow here and there, and keep your eye on the southern plains where it's way too dry.
Intelligent farming means more crop from every acre. That starts with smart machines and precision application. Introducing the new Rogator C-Series from Challenger, featuring a newer, smarter, more precise way to apply fertilizers and nutrients, more accurately and more efficiently than ever before, resulting in less overlap and less crop damage, all to make you more productive and more profitable. To find out more, contact Butler Machinery today.
Small or large, Superior Grain Equipment has a storage solution for you with a wide variety of bin options and accessories, along with site planning and superior customer service. Plus, from top to bottom, we offer the industry's best bins and warranties to protect your products and your grain storage investment. Get superior quality, protection, and reliability with generations of experience and dependability. Make the superior choice today with Superior Grain Equipment.
TrueFlex Land Rollers. TrueFlex Land Rollers are designed with today's farmer in mind. With a 42-inch roller diameter, features include a heavy-duty hinge and wing lock, true roller overlap, 3-inch replaceable roller shafts, hydraulic wing steer, and more. As manufacturers, we can custom build to any size. For questions, call us toll-free or check us out online. TrueFlex Land Rollers, a division of Sprayflex.
Make every minute of the growing season count. Schedule your equipment for a genuine Case IH parts and service uptime inspection at Titan Machinery. Our professional service technicians have the training and experience to pinpoint and repair problems before they have a chance to shut you down during the season. Avoid the high cost of in-season downtime. Give yourself the peace of mind knowing your equipment is ready to work. Schedule your equipment today by going to uptime18.com or calling your local Titan Machinery dealer. That's Titan Machinery, providing you with genuine Case IH parts and service.
A farmer near Alexandria, Minnesota is on his way to becoming the next big YouTube star. Zach Johnson farms with his dad, and a few years ago he started thinking about sharing his life on the farm with the rest of the world.
On this episode of Minnesota Millennial Farmer. It's not ideal, but it sure is a beautiful morning.
People like to see combines. They like to see tractors. They are interested in what we're doing out here.
The time is already here, and we're unloading the grain bags.
Zach Johnson started making videos about farm life 2 years ago.
We got serious combine issues. Tie rod's broke. That's definitely not a good deal there. Pick them up this tie rod. I'm guessing that right there is probably worth 30 bucks, maybe even 40. That's a joke. I've never been to prison, by the way, either. That was a joke also, guys.
He has already posted about 80 videos ranging from farming tutorials.
And then there's a knife right here that cuts along the bag real slowly as it pulls the tractor.
To having a little fun.
And this is grain bag launch.
That's my intention, is just to try to relate to consumers and people that are non-farmers and kind of let them know what we have going on out here and what we're doing and why we're doing them.
Where there's rubber paddles inside here on a chain that bring the clean grain up to our tank.
To get the information out there that we're real people out here working every day and there's reasons that we do the things that we do.
For those of you who've never seen inside a grain bin, well, it's pretty dark in here, but pretty empty. Not a lot to see.
Zach taught himself to shoot and edit the videos. He makes a little money from YouTube and so far has reinvested his earnings in video equipment.
This combine's got this ring of steel all the way around the cab, so anytime I would think of anything I wanted to say, I could pull that out of my lunchbox.
He has 35,000 subscribers from all over the world.
South America, Germany, Europe. We've got a lot of people from Australia that watch. I get a lot of messages from guys in South Africa that want to talk farming.
His most popular video, called Gearing Up for Harvest, has nearly 200,000 views.
It's really been neat how I've gotten connected with farmers from all different parts of the world, people that farm completely different crops and do things completely different from me.
Let me know what you guys want to see, and I'll do what I can to show it to you. Thanks for watching.
Minnesota Millennial Farmer out.
To find Zach's videos on YouTube, search for MN Millennial Farmer. Coming up on AgweekTV, get your taste buds ready.
I'm Michelle Rook here at the South Dakota Pork Producers Council Taste of Elegance Contest.
Luckin Trucks and Parts sells quality used parts for all makes and models. With over 50 acres of trucks and parts and new inventory arriving daily. Family owned and operated since 1966, Luckin's specializes in the sale of quality used medium to heavy duty truck parts as well as pre-owned trucks, trailers, and construction equipment. If it's on a truck, we got it. Call us today and let us get you your part.
Where do you go for the latest news in agriculture? AgWeek magazine. Reaching over 70,000 farmers and ranchers in North Dakota, Minnesota, South Dakota, and Montana. AgWeek provides the most up-to-date information on the markets, the trends, and the people who make it all happen. We're your source for news, not fluff. Dependable, trusted, AgWeek. Subscribe today by calling 1-800-811-2580.
Every year, 40% of all food in the U.S. never gets eaten.
40%. That's almost half the food we produce.
Food waste is a serious problem. It impacts all of us.
And it's expensive. Your family is throwing $1,500 a year in the trash.
We're working hard to put food waste on the chopping block.
And you can do the same at home.
Learn how to cook it, store it, and share it.
Just don't waste it.
Go to SaveTheFood.com.
I'm Jenny Garth, and as a mother of 3, I know kids worry about a lot of things. Getting enough food to eat shouldn't be one of them. But here in America, that is a real worry for 1 in 5 children. Even though we are one of the most food-rich countries in the world, 15 million children don't know where their next meal is coming from. This is unacceptable, and something the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks is working to solve. Instead of accepting that our country lets billions of pounds of surplus food go to waste every year, Feeding America has made it their mission to help families in need by rescuing this food. Through food pantries and meal programs, the nationwide network of food banks provides more than 3 billion meals, serving virtually every community in the United States, including yours. Join me in supporting Feeding America and your local food bank by visiting feedingamerica.org. Together we can solve hunger. Together, we're Feeding America.
30 years ago, it was hard to find a pork entree besides pork chops on a restaurant menu, but today you can often find a variety of dishes featuring pork. As Michelle Rook found, some of that can be credited to the annual Taste of Elegance contest.
It's a busy kitchen as some of the state's top chefs compete in the South Dakota Pork Producers Council Taste of Elegance contest. This was the first time in the culinary competition for Chef Jordan Taylor, who took home top honors with his Japanese pork trio.
We love pork. If you've been down to our place, it's very pork heavy. A lot of curing done in house and whatnot, so we thought it'd be a good chance to, show what we can do, I guess.
He loves to cook with pork because it adapts to any cuisine.
You can do anything to it. I mean, it's applicable to any cooking technique in the world and across the board.
Chef Bob Allen won the People's Choice Award with the pork shoulder dish, highlighting the versatility of pork.
It's come a long way in the last 10 years or so, and I think people are getting more acceptable to it. A lot of chefs are playing with different parts of the pork, so that's fun too.
Allen says the trick to cooking pork is 145-degree center and letting the meat rest.
Don't overcook it. That's the trick to pork. If you overcook it, it gets a little dry. So just stick a little under and you'll be fine.
The contest is designed to increase the amount of pork on menus. In Sioux Falls, I'm Michelle Rook reporting for AgWeek.
Thanks for watching this week's edition of AgWeek TV. Remember, for all your ag news, go to agweek.com. And be sure to follow us on Facebook and Twitter as well. We'll see you next week.